Hi you guys, it's Stephanie. Welcome back to my channel. I thought I would do a short video today. I think it's going to be short, just doing something to fill this one pocket. The other day I thought I wanted to try and use some of the book pages that I pulled out, and so I did this page and created this pocket. I took a couple of the pages of the book page and I glued them together and I ran them through the Sizzix with one of these, an embossing folder. I'm like, what is it called, Stephanie? And I wasn't sure how it would turn out as far as were the papers going to be too thin and was it going to crack and that sort of thing. So this turned out fine with 2 sheets. And so I thought we would do one together. And I backed it with something else so you could write on the back. So let's give that a try. So I just grabbed 2 pieces and I looked through them to make sure that the, language, there was no language or not nice things. I didn't read the book, so I don't know what it's about. So there could be not nice things. I don't know. So I'm putting just a lot. I'm going over and over it and over it. I also didn't know how well the Uhu would work, holding it together. And I think it's fine. It worked out just fine. Okay, so then I took the folder that I was using and kind of got an idea of how big I needed my sheet to be. And I used this paper cutter, hoping that I wouldn't get my other one gluey. This paper cutter was on clearance quite a while back. It's Paper Studio, so I don't even know if they still sell them. It's nice for cutting, things like this, but it's one of these, where that's, always right there. And if you have a really skinny piece of paper, I can't put this in and cut it because you can't hold on. Anyway, it works for some things, but not necessarily for others. And so when I did this, let's see. This one is wider, is it? Okay, hold on here. Let me do something else. Sorry if my arm's right in the way. I want the words to really, if there's any hangover, I want the words centered within it. So I'm going to try 2 different ones. So, okay, first mistake. I can still use it in some other way, but I don't think that's how I want it. So much for checking to see. This one's talking about eating stuff. Okay, I think that's fine. So let's glue those together again. So I have to say, I forget so often that I think, oh, I'll talk about that on a video, and then I totally forget. So sometimes you guys leave me comments and I see them in the notifications, but then when I go to click on it to respond to it, the comment is gone. And so I know that sometimes that happens if a person leaves a comment and they decide against it and they delete the comment. That will oftentimes still show up in notifications just so you guys know that if you're not somebody who has a channel, you can leave a notification and then delete it and I can still see it. I can't comment on it because it's gone, but for some reason it still shows up in the notifications. And it also shows as edited sometimes, you know, when you edit something, it shows up as edited. But like there was one this morning and I read it. The person had a question and it's gone, totally gone. So I don't know. The question was about paint. So if you are the person that left that question, I will let you know here in just a second. They were asking what paint I used to paint my pages. And I will show you here in just a second. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is leave it like this for a second and then kind of mark it. The paint that I used, it's not totally closed, so I don't want to tilt it too much. But it's an Ace Hardware. If you have that or not, I don't know. But the brand of paint is Ace Hardware. The name of the color that I used is a light Navajo white. And it's an interior flat paint. So, and it's like a quart. So it's more than necessary for sure. But you never know. I'll probably paint a shelf with it at some point. Okay, so I'm going to kind of line it up this time and do it that way and kind of mark where I want to cut it. I think that'll work better for us. Let's see. I need a straight edge. I have you also a little bit closer today, so I'm hoping, since I was just doing this one small project, I thought that would be okay. I'm hoping it's all in frame. And then I can trim again what I don't need after I've sent it through the embosser thingy. The glue is still kind of wet, you know, like my paper feels cool. And I think that that helps when you send it through the embosser for it to not crack. So I think that's good. Let's see here. Okay. And then the one I'm using is Sizzix Texture Boutique that I found that was on clearance at Hobby Lobby one time several years ago. I don't think they carry them in the store. At least where I live, they don't carry them in the store. I don't know if they don't have them whatsoever. But these came with it. So I'm using the shims that came with it, including the little one here, just because it's not much paper in there. Okay, and then this might shake the table a bit. If it does, I'm sorry, but I just need to get it going. Try to not shake it too much. I can tell it's shaking. I can see my phone. So sorry about that. Look away for a second. We're just going to do one, so we're done. All right. It did not crack the paper. I don't see any cracks, so that's good. It did go through slightly crooked, so I've got a little more space on this side than I do on this side, but that's okay. I'm gonna just, I'm doing this with my scissors because if I put it through my cutter, either one of them, I'm afraid it's gonna squish my embossing down. So I'm just gonna do it this way. This is just slightly crooked, unfortunately. It's a little less obvious. So then I took my ink, and there's still some on there, so I'm just going to kind of get the center part of it a little bit where there's no embossing that happened. And then I'm going to go over the part that is embossed with this and some black. And then when I'm done with the decorating on the front, I will cover it, the back of it, with something that can be written on, so it'll firm it up. Okay. And then I have a black one out. There's probably enough ink on this black one to just go over it. My hair is always tickling my face. Okay, so then the embossing shows up very nicely, I think. And then I have, from the book, I have this image of an airplane, and just didn't know how big or small I was going to want to have it. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep on cutting it until there's no cloud left. I feel like I'm not cutting it straight. I'm probably not. Let's see here. I'm going to grab some paper to back it with. I'm going to ink around it first. And try to get it to where I think you guys can see. I do have a straight line here that I can follow, so that was lucky. And then there's a little cut up here that I had already made, so try and meet that cut. You know, that's close. We'll ink it some more and I think it'll be fine. thinking I'm going to put this here. Covers a little bit, but that's okay. And then there were some words. I mean, it's, I don't know. I think I have another place I want to put that. Okay, I'm looking at my other papers here. Hold on just a second. I'm looking to see if I have some mostly red. I'm right here. I'm just right here. Okay. So I think that that might be good. But I definitely want the red to show. So let's see, pencil. We'll go here and here. And I'm gonna actually use my cutter. I know you guys can't see this. I'm getting the part where I cut just up to the line so that I can have a fairly straight shot. Okay. Let's see here. I don't know, maybe I could just put it, trying to decide here. I wish it was a slightly smaller image. I'm gonna cut one more bit off of here. One more, quite a bit of a bit. Travel's too long. Actually, I kind of like that, but there needs to be something up here. Seeing what scraps I have up here. I don't know, you guys, I'm unimpressed with this right now. Let me look in the book really quick at that particular page that has air stuff and see if I find something that I would rather use. It doesn't have a whole lot else that's, you know, it's like, you know, too big. And then I think that's it. Yeah. My son just walked past my window. I don't know, what do you think? I'm thinking that I might, let me see how this fits again. No. I'm getting warm. I should open up my window, but then you'll hear cars driving past. I'm not that close to a road, but as soon as I open up my window, a really loud truck will go by, so probably shouldn't. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I have a few different embossing cards that I think, you know, will go with the book. And so I'll probably make quite a few of these, maybe plan out the next one a little bit better. Oh, you guys, my daughter got her driver's license yesterday. That's pretty exciting. She's very excited and so relieved to be done with the stress of it all. It's a lot. Oh, she was so nervous. But, so that's good. That's done finally. The test and this. No. Okay, so in the book, I was planning on having it over here. So I still need to back it, but you guys don't need to watch that. So I will back it, and it could go like that, or probably like this is probably better. And then on this side, I have, it's an image of a lady, and it looks like this guy's gonna go for a flight because he's got one of those little flight hats on. They're looking up at it. So I thought I'd put that over here. I have to say, so I was married previously, and my previous husband was a pilot, and he had a small plane, and it used to terrify me. He would want to go flying. Actually, our very, very first date, he took me flying, and I was terrified. I was terrified. I think at that point I had only ever flown once before. Small town girl, small town, you know, fears, I guess you would maybe say. Not that I like flying now. It's not the funnest thing in the world. Not necessarily because I think I'm gonna, you know, not get to my destination or something, but it's not fun. It's, you know, so cramped up, and you just want to drink water. Does that happen to you guys? I get so thirsty in an airplane. Oh my goodness. And you're just cramped in there, and Oh, it's just, oh, it's quite the process, flying is. Anyway, yeah, he liked to go flying, and you know, he just had a small little airplane. Don't be impressed, because those tiny little airplanes don't cost that much money. It's like a small car, you know, they're not expensive. But I always thought, because you know, when you hear about people on the news that the family got in the little airplane, and yeah, I was always like, that's gonna be me someday. I'm terrified. Well, I guess it did. In the end, it didn't matter. So, but yeah. Oopsie. And then I have Dreams of Flight. Maybe I'll just put it up in the corner. Yeah, I'll put it up in this corner. Then living up in Alaska. You know, lots of people up there have their own planes, because a lot of the really good fishing places, you have to fly to them. Alaska is so huge, and there is so much of it that's unpopulated, and there aren't roads to get to where you want to go. And so how do you get in there? You pay someone to fly you in there, or you learn how to fly and buy a small airplane. And I remember thinking, oh, you guys, and somebody's gonna ask me to go fly. And oh, I actually worked for one of the small flight companies that people would come on vacation and go out flying, sightseeing and fishing and rafting and that sort of thing. And you had to go, they would take you to all the sites so that you were able to tell the people about what they were buying. And I had to get into those little airplanes so many times. They were float planes. So we landed in water, you know, flew over glaciers, landed in water. Yeah, it was scary for me, but I'm still alive. Okay, you guys, so that's that. I still need to cover the back of it, but I mean, I guess it turned out okay after all the fussing. And I'll just cover it with something that has lines on it for writing. Okay, so hopefully that was short. I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you are having a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.